It's like this is a combination of two groups of people. So two very good groups of people, and that's not something that happens often in North American Dota. I know that sounds ridiculous, but
that is ridiculous.
on the
Dude,
tier
what are you
2
talking
level,
about? This is like NA Dona's finest. This is like the one stream, maybe not the one stream. This is a stream where people are coming for. Oh my God, why are we hearing Discord sounds?
Oh, that's all
my word. All right, I'm going to have to do that. Give me 1 second. But, okay, cool. So we're going to get our draft underway here, Jenkins. You're in this lobby, right? We're good to go.
Yeah,
we got
I'm here.
Dota sounds. I think we're ready to rock. But I'm ready for some NA bias tonight. You know, that's what I'm hoping for. Because no matter what, North America wins.
It's true. It's true. These are all tier 2 players too, so I like I like when tier 2 players are winning things.
Right, you know a little bit about the tier 2 Dota
yeah,
scene.
a little bit.
Right.
Bit.
So, but this is a cool concept. I actually really like this league. I'm glad that PPD reached out to us to help cover it because I think the concept is the best of in-house leagues mixed with like the best of tournaments that have some structure. So you have that flexibility. You're getting those high-quality games. It's better than your pubs. There's still money on the line, and hopefully it won't suffer that problem that a lot of other in-house leagues have in the past where it's super hype for like a week, maybe two, then it starts to die off, then pretty quick it just becomes this abandoned kind of
I think I think the fact that it's a team-based thing will avoid that problem. I think Peter and his family, the group of people that came up with this idea, basically were trying to take Face It, which was a very successful thing, and then be like, okay, why didn't this work? And then they just solved all the issues with it, and this is the outcome. And I think a lot of North American players that are in this league would be well aware of what the issues with the FPL were, and would be very well aware that also this league solves these problems, which would bias people towards like playing in it and wouldn't die for that reason, which is interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's been going on in Dota though? You know, you've been hanging out here at the Moonduck House. You're gonna be here for a while. I've seen you playing some pubs. What's like the hot-ish in the NA space right now? What are we expecting to see? Any curveball? Any NA classics? I've been a little absent for the last month or so since TI took a little Dota holiday, so I'm coming back. What did I miss?
There's basically a bunch of just new stacks of teams. Like a lot of these teams are just stacks that formed right before NADCL. So I think what we're going to see is one of those seasons where at the end of the season we'll have some really, really strong teams that we see as a group of players that like is a team together. It's like, oh, that's Pretty Boy Swag, that's this team or whatever. But for now, it's going to be a lot of growing, a lot of learning, which is great for NADCL has like group stages and stuff. So I think there's a lot of practicing that teams need to do together because all of these players obviously are very individually skilled. It's just a matter of coming up with strats and like understanding the principles together and like agreeing on principles and stuff like that. So I think we're going to see some chaos at the start, maybe some like shining beacons of hope where they just happen to mesh really, really well as a team. Maybe more like the teams that are just groups of friends.
So
but then. Sorry. As it progresses, we'll see more of the structured Dota.
And
basically.
refresh me on what is the parameter to be included in this? So you have to be a team that you're not playing in minors or majors right now. Is that kind of the cutoff, or? I
believe you have to be an unsponsored team. I'm not 100%. I think that you can't be going to minors or majors either. I think it's which would explain why like Brax's team didn't play in this.
Right. So the idea.
Oh wait a minute. Whoops. Oh shit. Damn. They didn't. Well, they were close, but it explains why BSJ's team. That's a different team. Whoops. Oh my god.
Whoops a daisy.
Oh.
And we don't have proper tags here. We recognize a couple of names. I think Ush is Ush. MJW is MJW. Outside of that, who do we have here before we really delve into these picks? I see Ryu Borez there as well.
Okay, we have
Swag.
On Truffle Salt, we have Bleak, who has played, TI player.
Chad.
Chad. We have Venom, who is, he's like ranked 20 or something like that. He's like a pub stomp player. Ush, who, TI player. Mario, who is, he's played on a lot of tier 2 teams. He's improved a lot in the past couple of years. He was originally kind of just like a friend of everybody. He would play kind of support, but now he's actually very, very good, very high rated. MJW, we've seen him before too. He's an off-lane player, played on the tier 2 scene for a long time. He was initially on eHug. On the side of Pretty Boy Swag, we talked a little bit about them. They have Rioborus, who caster, tier 2 player, played at a couple of lands. Old White, Chinese American player, I believe, Chinese American, Chinese Canadian, and then we have BTY God, who is also Chinese American. And then I don't know who the other guys are. I think their tags are
LSD eye drops, dude.
Come on,
let's party.
There's like one of these guys on here that I don't actually recognize from pubs.
Down.
But
isn't Pretty Boy Swag that original team that Ryu Borez was on at
that's
MLG
the LAN.
Columbus
he went
2013?
to where they lost to everybody. But hey, man, they qualified. He's a LAN player.
It's true.
That's
that was the first time I met him. I remember meeting that squad kind of in passing, or like, who are those guys? Like, oh, that's Pretty Boy Swag. They're like kind of a team, but not really. I was like, oh, okay, that explains why they're just kind of here and keeping to themselves.
they're chilling, man.
They were all just like wearing different T-shirts and shit. It was like
yeah. That was an interesting point in NA Dota history, actually.
So what are we looking here with the Dotes? We've got Treant, Pugna, Potom, and Willow for the Truffles. And we've got Necro, Earthshaker, Ogre, and Phantom Lancer here for the Swagsters.
Yeah, so we have the Pugna as like a counter to Necrophos. I would definitely say that, I mean, if you're running like an offlane Necro and you give them a good lane, you can definitely run it against the Pugna and it's fine. But you see a lot of teams opting to ban the Pugna first phase if they're aiming for a Necro, and then like if the Necro gets banned, it's whatever. Just because that way, if you set up for like a Necro, Pugna's basically the only like ultra hard counter to Necro in the game.
Okay.
Especially if he's mid, because you get an advantage. You just blow him up instantly. I really like this PL pick. There's absolutely nothing that Truffle Salt has to deal with the PL. Owns Mirana because you can chase her through her leaps. Owns Pugna because Pugna doesn't really do any serious AoE. The nuke kind of, but you can just dispel the Decrep. You can just dispel the ultimate. You can dispel Tree's abilities with a Manta style. PL is a natural Manta style builder. Dark Willow, really no AoE to speak of. Like, this is a really good PL pick.
What do you mean no AoE? She's got the Bedlam. She's got Terrorize.
Yeah, but that's not it. That it looks like it's AoE because it does so much damage, but it's actually single target.
That's weird. It looks like it's AoE because it works in an area of effect, but
no, dude, it hits. It's like you're sending this little bug thing around you, and it's just nuking things, but it's hitting individual things. It just like you can choose to single target if you aim it well enough, and then the Monkey King.
I see what you're saying. I got you. All right, so Monkey King. All right. Interesting.
They're definitely like Truffle Salt is definitely banking on having at least one of these heroes snowballing, because otherwise the PL is just going to be a massive issue.
Yeah, I think this Pretty Boy Swag team is nice and beefy, and it looks like Truffle Salt is just a little more, maybe not made of paper, but susceptible to burst damage except that Treant Protector.
Yeah, I think that they're basically all susceptible to burst damage, especially at level 1. There's just a bunch of heroes that have 0 armor. Like, honestly, all of them have really low armor at level 1.
Wait, this is looking like a great Ogre game.
Oh, yeah, just walking around, thwopping people.
Yeah, if this were my draft, I'd be pretty happy if I were the Ogre player.
My Dota crashed, by the way. I should have to get back in.
Oh,
here.
That's good. So don't worry, we're all broadcasting through mine over here. Pretty Boy Swag, final pick though. Probably looking for another support, I'd imagine.
They could go for a cheese pick. I mean, they have the last pick. Let's see.
Like a Husky.
Huskar's not great against Monkey King. Pugna does okay against it in lane. I don't know if you would want a Huskar with a PL as well. Like, you're already banking on the PL just being unkillable in the late game. Like, why? Why give yourself another win condition when you already have one? You could just bolster your current win condition. Brood, not great against Monkey King. Also probably banned. Yeah, first phase banned. Meepo would be okay. But I don't know. I think actually, even though it's the last pick, they probably won't cheese it. So they have 2 supports, Earthshaker, Ogre. They need presumably a mid laner, but they're not sure what lane these heroes are going to go to. That's the thing with picking the Pugna Mirana.
Okay, I see where you're going with it.
Okay, so Tiny. I mean, that's just such a good hero.
A lot of beefcakes over here on Pretty Boy Swag.
Yeah, that's
pretty big time damage too.
Yeah, they definitely have the ways to kill these beefcakes though. Between the Monkey King, the Pugna, the Mirana, they do like persist, and the Dark Willow. They actually do a lot of nuke damage. So it's not that bad. But I mean, if you're using everything on one person, it's like the other beefcakes are gonna be tanky as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they don't have incredible siegers on the side of Pretty Boy Swag, so I think the Treant pick feels pretty good to me. He'll probably be able to delay some pushes, stretch out that mid game some. But as you talked about, afraid of the PL, and I think Pretty Boy Swag just have more options. I look at this draft and way more spammable stuns. You've got the Necro ultimate to finish off those kills if somebody gets caught. We've seen what can happen if Earthshaker gets early kills, finds a Blink Dagger at a reasonable timing.
Yeah, he becomes a core basically.
I'm just more afraid of this lineup, I think.
The Pretty Boy Swag lineup?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would definitely be afraid of this lineup as well. I think that Truffle Salt, though, okay, so it's Ush is taking Mirana mid. So MJW offlane Pugna, Venom, safe lane Monkey. I think that Truffle Salt still has a way of winning this game just because, well, of course, there's always a way to win Dota. But anyway, they have a really good win condition in this game because they have the Pugna. So if they snowball out of these lanes, which they definitely could with these heroes if they play it well, the Pugna is just going to take down every single tower, and the PL doesn't matter because he won't come online in time for it to matter. So I think Truffle Sol definitely has.
There's like a tempo mismatch there where they could
exactly
maybe find an edge, get a foothold.
Yeah, 100%. Where I would be worried is if you're running down every tower with an advantage, Earthshaker picks up a blink. That's where I would be worried. Is like the moment he hits that big echo, you probably don't come back from that because of the PL being in the game.
Yeah.
Realistically, unless the PL is getting completely destroyed in this game.
Also feels like a game where there's some pressure on this Tiny. If he starts balling out of control, they could run away with it early, and if the Tiny doesn't really get that momentum, then I think it kind of swings the other way.
The Tiny could definitely make it so this game just is just like a complete stomp. If Tiny does a lot in the early game and just makes space for the PL, well, then there's no way that they can run down all the towers because Tiny's just going to kill them and fight them, and they can just ignore the fact that the PL even exists. He farms, he gets a heart, he's unkillable.
Now, I do want to let you know that applying Break to Phantom Lancer from an item like Silver Edge or an ability like Viper's Nether Toxin will stop Phantom Lancer from creating additional illusions from Juxtapose.
Wow, so Monkey King definitely going to opt for that Silver Edge first build, so that way you can disable the Juxtapose illusions.
I read on Reddit that it was a hard counter to a hero like PL. Do you remember when that used to give him magic resistance?
I do remember that, yeah.
I remember that too.
So what does it do now? Just the illusions?
Does jack shit compared to what it used to.
That was sick, dude.
It just makes illusions, yeah. It's I don't know. I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with PL. Part of me really hates him because we've all had those games where you just don't have the tools to deal with them, and you're like, fucking PL. I hate this hero. But then the opposite happens where you have a good PL game and you're playing it and you just take over the world. And you're like, man, I love PL. I'm shooting Spirit Lances all over the place. I'm even buying Aghanims. I'm so rich.
Yeah, I just have a hate relationship with PL because I'm an offlane player. So I'm just so sick of him running at me and hitting me for 150 damage per hit at level 1.
What's the state of affairs on the Aghanims for PL? Any viable?
I think there's like 2 builds on PL and none of them include Aghanims basically.
Okay, well.
Like you either go for a Satanic build and then you go for the crit, or you go for heart and then you go for the doppelganger cooldown. It's like either you are unkillable and do a decent amount of damage, or you do a ridiculous amount of damage and are semi-killable if you get disabled.
Okay.
So it just depends on what you want to do. In
do
most
either
games,
of those include Battle Fury?
Honestly, Battle Fury wouldn't be that bad on this hero, other than the fact that Diffusal Blade makes you so strong. If Diffusal Blade wasn't an item, people actually might go Battle Fury on.
It seems situational. I feel like I've seen it a handful of times on
It's
PL,
happened.
and
It's
it works in those really slow games. If you know the other carry is going to go for a Battle Fury as well, you can kind of use it to maintain tempo.
Oh, for sure. It's very, very greedy on PL though, because this hero already kind of struggles in the, and I'd say in like 50% of games, this hero kind of struggles and then comes back online. Like he comes back, and then there's the other 50% of games where he's just like a crazy good hero in the laning phase. You run down every tower with the illusions, and that's probably less than 50%. But a lot of the time, this hero is a comeback hero, and Battle Fury is like real greedy for that.
Don't call it a comeback.
Why not?
All right. Well, it's like a saying. All right, my auto spectate's not working, so I'm gonna take a moment here. Let's see if I can. Ooh, you guys are gonna see my secrets. Oh, I messed it up.
Oh God.
Don't worry, Jenkins. I'm a master at this.
Yeah, I saw it. There you go.
Voila! I have done it.
Monkey King's going for the snipe.
Where? I don't see him.
Is he gonna get it?
Oh, that's him.
There he is.
Oh man.
They didn't move the courier out of base though. They know. They have a Monkey King player on their team.
Yep.
They're not gonna fall for that.
Maybe not the oldest trick in the book but one of the older tricks. This is awfully suspicious here.
Oh yeah. They no pings on him yet though.
Isn't this the little dodo thing that's in that Dota VR trial in the secret shop? This little dude just follows you around.
I've never done the VR trial, but I know that the dodo is worth quite a bit of a fortune from TI2, TI3. I don't know, something.
I remember when I hadn't tried virtual reality
Oh,
yet.
come on, dude. What the hell, man?
To be young and feel virtual reality's keen sting.
Oh, man.
Well, let's take a look at these bounty runes. Looks like there will be a little bit of punch in. The tree and the tiny having a dance party. It's tree on tree. It will be 2 for 2, though, it would seem. 2 for the Dire, 2 for the Radiant, and even split right down the middle. Although Venom, he'll have to TP. And that TP, it's got to cost Jenkins. That's gold lost.
Yeah, that's regen lost. in the laning phase right now. Losing a bit of regen before the game actually starts is quite game losing. I mean,
suffice it to say, he's not going to be happy with that one.
He is not going to be happy. He's going to be a sad monkey. Let's see. This is already a really tough lane. Good God. Tiny Ogre. How do you kill either of these heroes?
A couple of bullies.
They're big beefcakes.
The Broad Street Bashers, dude.
They're big meat houses.
Yeah, they really are. Tiny not living up to his name with that giant branch. Let's take a look at the mid. It's Ush on the Mirana against someone on the PL.
I think that's B2I.
All right.
Yeah, B2I. I like that they did
B2I.
this lane swap up because the Necro does really fine against Pugna in lane. Not in the game, but in lane it's fine. And I think PL will do perfectly fine against Mirana. She just pokes. She tickles you.
Okay. Well, speaking of tickling up top, we saw a fissure. A little bit of exchanging now. Necro jumps forward. There's a death pulse. A blast from the Pugna. No kill. Monkey King, though, he's taking some hurt down bottom. Looks like he'll live through it, but wowzers, he's struggling.
Yeah, he's not having a great time. He's got 2 last hits, 3 tangos left. That's what I'm worried about. Is that 2 last hits not all that bad right now, but when those tangos start getting low, he's not going to be feeling too good about this lane.
What do you build on Tiny these days? Well, there's an avalanche. They follow up with a stun from
dead.
the Ogre. He's whomping him with the tree, and that's it. LSDI drops. We'll find a first blood on the Ogre Magi. Very nice.
Hey, man,
Pretty boy swag.
You called it. This Tiny, if he can keep up any sort of momentum, this game is going to, I think, be a pretty big stomp.
It's like Shadow Blade. Is that the way you go? Blink Dagger.
People go like you go like bottle because you need the regen now, and then on the top lane.
Whoa. Shadow Realm
He's dead.
secures the kill on the Necrophos. Will they be able to find a counter kill perhaps? Dark Willow getting hit by old White.
It's weird to pair a Necro with an Earthshaker. It's always awkward because Earthshaker doesn't really do much if you're going for like the fissure build.
Yep. Oh, now down bottom.
Oh, the
More
PL.
setup onto the Monkey King. PL gets killed all the while. This fight down bottom splitting into 2 1v1s as Ogre continues to bash the Monkey King away, but Ryu Borez stunned up, trying to make his way around Mario. Unrelenting. Actually, relenting in his pressure as he runs back the other way.
Dude, Sleazel just does not care at all. He's just running around whacking. He's at full HP. Have we seen Sleazel drop below full HP? Nobody wants to hit an Ogre. Ryu looks like he's pretty okay, I guess.
Oh,
no,
never
not
mind.
so much.
There's the turn. Monkey King will be able to finish him off.
That was very greedy.
A little more pressure coming into the Ogre. Well, looks like he'll be just fine. This mid lane still actually okay for the PL in terms of CS.
Yeah, he traded his life for that CS, unfortunately, but he's
It's not too bad.
Man, he could get a second stout shield, and I think he would take 0 damage from this Mirana. That's what people are doing these days. Not on PL. It's more like a thing you do against Brood or summon hero, but
Yeah, that's really taking me back.
dude, it's legit, man. Bot lane.
Pressure onto this Treant. Toss not going to be enough. That is one beefy tree. Level 3 with a stick. Not an easy target to bring down. More damage up top, though. Necro taking a lot of pressure. Gets brought down under his own tower once again.
This is concerning because the Necro is very, very terrible against Pugna if you're at a disadvantage. The only way that you really play against this Pugna hero as Necro is if you come out of the lane with enough farm, like more farm than him, basically. You need like the Hood, you need like the Veil of Discord, you need your tanky items, or he just bursts you in his combo, literally from full HP. It's actually really hard to play, and the fact that he's losing this lane to the Pugna as well means obviously the Pugna is going to have an advantage over him. So that's not boding well for the Necro in this game.
A little turn pressure this way. You're right about this lane comp, though. The Earthshaker Necrophos feels pretty one and done. The Fissure comes out, the level 2 Death Pulse comes out, and then that's it. They're at half HP, and there's pretty much no follow-up but some dinky right clicks.
You can actually build the Earthshaker differently. This is something that I've seen in Chinese Dota, where they build the Earthshaker, where they just go enchant Totem Aftershock. They play it as like kind of a lane support. Although, as I say that, he's getting himself killed for that bounty rune. Doesn't even get it. That's very unfortunate.
Oh, missed that one. Sorry.
Pugna picked up a bottle, so these bounty runes not only giving them the bounty, but also full HP for this lane that they're already winning. So this lane is going to look a lot rougher for the Dire very soon.
Yeah, Pretty Boy Swag maybe in some trouble as the Truffles are off to a pretty good start. 5-1, over 2K net worth is their favor. And we're not even out of the laning stage yet. Down bottom, a little pressure coming onto Venom, but there's a tree there. The Avalanche will be off the mark. Maybe they can combo down the tree. Not going to happen. And that'll be the end of it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, you screw up a couple of kills like that in this lane, and all of a sudden the monkey in the tree can lane here perfectly fine.
Now back up top, Necrophos all by himself. He does have some help inbound. He'll be able to sustain through that round of damage. Pretty low on mana for the Radiant. Totem smacks him in the face as MJW uses yet another Q to repel the likes of the Necro.
When he gets 6, this Necro just can't lane against him at all. The Necro needs to make some sort of lane rotation. But the Pugna's going to get 6 before he does. So there's this awkward phase where the Pugna can just totally zone the Necro. The Necro can't do anything.
Mid lane still pretty even, actually. Very slight advantage for the PL, but both farming about on par. The Monkey King gets killed down bottom, though.
Yeah, they finally get him.
And back up top, looks like some more pressure. Necrophos in pretty deep. Not able to finish off the Dark Willow. MJW very low on health and mana.
Necro's dead.
One more hit, and Necro will fall. Maybe even another onto the Earthshaker. There's the Cursed Crown. Stun will connect, but do they have the clicks?
Yeah,
they do.
They click them.
Huge stuff here in the top lane. Now mid, rotation on the way. Ush will get stunned up by Fatty McGee. That's the Ogre. And that'll set it up for another kill going the way of the Dire. 3-7, a little sign of life as they make a rotation.
That is one way to come back from lanes that didn't go so well, is just by making good lane rotations. You just say, okay, you're winning the lanes, well, let's just break down the laning phase, and it doesn't matter anymore, you know, because PL can go jungle, somebody can take mid, and all of a sudden it's just not the laning phase anymore. Although, as I say that, on the top lane, Necro trying his darndest to lane up there.
Yep, I think that was his last infused raindrop. Cursed Crown again will connect, but nice fissure from Old White. Put some damage out onto Willow, but mitigates a few tower shots with a well-timed decrep. Now back in the bottom lane. It's Mario getting focused down, but the combo gets broken up by Venom with a Boundless Strike. Ryu Borez will finish off the tree, but does pay with his life. Monkey King, kind of the big winner from that exchange.
Yeah, that's definitely worth it for Radiant. This is the lane that's supposed to be getting pressured too, so they're winning it.
Yeah, bottom feels pretty good. Mid, advantage for Mirana, at least in farm. Now back in the top lane. It's been a little bit of a back and forth, but definitely favoring MJW alongside the Willow.
Oh wow, Rear Boris just TP's to top in vision, doesn't get anything. That's really, really bad for their game.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so awkward to make a lane rotation like that, and then... Is he going to walk bot? There's no... But did Necro just TP up here? Like, is this just 2 heroes that have to sit here? No, he's going to TP bot. Okay.
So they'll end up making just a full lane rotation
out of it. It's unfortunate because I think at the deficit that they're at, they would want to look to get a kill off of that. Tiny is a very good aggressive lane rotator. You can pretty easily get a kill if you just are patient, maybe smoke, maybe just try to go, you know, around back. Like, you just be subtle about it, but... So they're smoking onto Ryu now because they know because of this lane rotation that Necro can't get there. So if they kill him, they get this tower for free. So if Ryu dies here, it's just a free tower.
Let's see if they can find it. MJW leading the charge. He is level 6 on the Pugna. Starts things off with a decrep. A lot of burst damage. Does get the Avalanche on 2. Stops the life drain. There's the fissure. And it might actually be enough to keep this Tiny alive. A handful of HP. But he does live.
Unfortunately, though, like... The rotation happened, and he's low HP now, so the tower just dies anyway.
Yeah, and now they go in onto the Earthshaker. Not much he can do here. Cursed Crown comes out just a little too late. Great TP, however, it will leave Ryu Borez behind. MJW, knowing his limits, will finish off the kill, and now pressure that tower. They force out the Glyph, and it'll fall here in just a matter of moments. Mirana pulling further ahead in this mid lane, starting to get a lot of space.
That was such a good lane rotation from them. Rotation from... the salty boys, because they knew that the Necro couldn't... That's the issue with Rear Boars TPing in and not getting a kill, is that you're not forcing the enemy team to respond to you. They can just go and do their rotation without any punishment whatsoever, because they have the information. Although he denies the tower, that's very good. Rear board's got the deny.
Arcane Rune on the Mirana mid. Actually kind of scary here. Mario almost comes in. Willow with the fear, trying to finish off this PL, and they'll get it. Great use of the disable, and the double Starstorm proves to be a bit too much. More rotations now from the Dire on the way. Ush in pretty deep, but it is still a 3v2. Mario rotating in. Nice fissure again in the middle, but this Arcane Rune still doing a fair bit of work. Ogre and Earthshaker relatively low. Now the Bedlam comes, and that'll be the end of the Earthshaker.
And they get the tower, too.
Arrow connects on the Ogre. Beautiful from Ush as he manages to clip him. Going to be a close one, but they will commit to finish off this kill. The Earn Charge comes out, and it's a double for the Willow. 3 down.
Oh, my
Pretty
God.
Boy Swag getting ripped apart. Now Ryu Borez maybe in trouble himself. Ush leaps forward, out of cooldowns now, but it doesn't matter. Toss forward, maybe 1 or 2 more. All the while, the Pugna sets up a kill down bottom. There's the overgrowth from the tree. Nowhere for the Tiny to go. This Dire squad is getting ripped apart here, Jenkins.
Ush is so goddamn good at Mirana. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
The amount of damage he did, and I don't mean damage as in Dota damage, I mean like goddamn psychological damage that he did to the Dire using that Arcane Rune was ridiculous. He just constantly arrowing, constantly Starstorming, baiting the PL's doppelgang, diving. Like I don't know, the team play from these guys has just been absolutely phenomenal. I don't think this is a lane that you're supposed to win. Maybe I'm not a mid player and I'm just not understanding the matchup, but I feel like PL does very well against a Mirana. It's just that Ush is playing this so skillfully that it looks like Mirana stomps this lane when she doesn't. Like it looks relatively even in terms of the gold, but he's about to get his tower. Like PL's tower is almost dead. 0 damage, literally 0 damage on Ush's tower.
That is pretty impressive. Yeah, definitely speaks to how one-sided that lane ended up going. Trient up top, leeching some XP, and is scouting out this Necro. This is one busted Necro, by the way. He is, like, working on phase boots.
Oh, no.
Not even that. He just now got the gold for it. I mean, he is really in poverty mode.
He has 1,000 HP. If you do the math, let's see. 50% amplification, Nether Blast, so 450 damage, 150 damage per second. Basically, this guy just dies instantly to the Pugna, like this Necrophos.
Gonna call a rotation here. Mario scouting.
Hey, here it is.
Decrypt to get it started. TP home will work. Close call, but they just don't quite have the damage. They needed to wait just another second for Ush to get there.
He actually used Ghost Shroud too, or maybe he Ghost Shrouded in the fountain. So he wasn't taking a lot of damage there, surprisingly.
All right, good save. Now the Moonlight Shadow going down the other way. Sentry Ward down already. There's the Wukong's command, but they just disengage. There's a missed opportunity here for the Truffles. Cursed Crown into the Brambles. Ryu Borez will get stunned up, but again, no follow-up here.
I think they're fine with this like standoff in the bot lane because top's getting pushed by Pugna Mirana.
Yep, the Monkey King needs to be careful. Too much damage coming his way. Terrorize buys him some time, but it's not enough. Now the overgrowth from Mario will lock the PL in place. Spirit Lance comes out, trying to dive past this Treant, but he makes it into the tree line. He'll be all right. All the while, top lane, tier 2 tower stays standing.
But this is a really good rotation.
MJW in a lot of trouble. Reaper's Scythe does not finish the kill, but does set it up. So no additional time on that respawn, but now Ush trying to leap back to safety. TP home in the trees. Very nicely done. He will survive. Still pretty good for Pretty Boy Swag, showing a sign of life indeed. 6-15. They do not defend that top tier 2. However, they do secure a deny. Now bottom lane set up onto PL. Doppelganger away. Venom with the Boundless Strike. Gonna be a tough kill to secure perhaps, but nope, the Leech Seed's there to slow him down, and no additional Doppelganger, not able to make it away.
And Mario just knows how to play this Treant Protector hero so well. This is like the hero that he grinded from, I don't know, rank 1,000 to rank 200 with, and I don't know. It was like a couple of weeks this guy gained that rank. He's very, very good at this particular hero. You see him, he just waits for the PL, like he baits out the Doppel, and then uses the Leech Seed right afterwards, and then instantly uses the Nature's Guys as soon as it's up to disable him. Like, that's not an easy kill in the PL. There's not much on this team to deal with the PL. And they're making it look easy just because they're playing heroes that they're very good with.
Yeah, I like this build on tree, and I guess this is pretty common these days, but not even a single point in the living armor. Just playing the tree, very aggressive, in your face, rather than that kind of defensive. I'm going to keep my towers alive.
Yeah, I guess because they
school style, I
guess. Because I guess they don't really care for a late game. They're just like, all right, well, if if our towers die, they die. We'd rather we want to be the ones pressuring. And he's setting up an appeal once again.
Sets things up, overgrowth, follow-up, terrorize, a lot of crowd controls. Not even opportunity to use the doppelganger there.
Do you remember when you could doppel through roots?
Yes.
That was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
That was so ridiculous. So Tree's actually decent against PL. Well, I mean,
in that regard.
In that regard.
If you're going to...
People usually say PL's like a tree counter, though, because you just doppel the trees in lane, and then...
Yeah. I mean, they're playing this very well. And from the perspective of they have pretty unconventional crowd controls. You don't think of, overgrowth into terrorize, sick wombo combo. But they're making it work for them. You know, it's enough that they're able to find these kills, and it's giving them that momentum. They secure that bottom tier 2. Monkey King able to grab the last hit there, and they still force a TP rotation. Tower count, still a tier 1 standing up top, so it is 5-0 in total towers. Big time net worth favor. It's about 7,500 going the way of the salt truffles, the truffle salts. The mushrooms.
Salty boys. Yeah, surprisingly, Venom is top of net worth, too. Oh, the PL actually didn't go to the low ground. Is he just going to get solo killed? Oh, my God.
Well, Echo Slam onto Venom actually doesn't do too much damage, just setting up for his teammates to close the gap. Mario does not have an overgrowth, and they will likely get this Monkey King. They have to dust him. He's going to burn down ever so slowly. They go 1 for 1. Not sure who that really
I don't know
favors.
if you care. If you're, I think that's good for Venom. This is a solo kill. You get so much experience for solo kills.
That's true. You do get a lot. And the Monkey King...
And that's the win condition, the PL. Like,
yeah, the Monkey King's still really far ahead, and it's like the PL is the only one that loses out there.
Yeah.
That's sort of a wash for the Monkey King, but now Necro in the bottom lane, close range arrow from Ush, but a double damage rune will help his output, but nice Fisher breaks things up, will prevent the kill from coming out. Looks like a Yasha into Maelstrom can be the choice for Ush's Mirana.
Going for a lot of Maelstroms. The Monkey's getting a Maelstrom as well. Just trying to deal with these illusions in any way that you can. With a lead, it's definitely good, but I mean, you can have like 5 Maelstroms, and it really does not deal with the PL when it gets a heart. That's the only thing. I think Truffle Salt's looking very, very good with the lead that they have. Obviously, they're snowballing.
Ooh. That's a Wukong's command there, Jenkins.
That was a big W, if I've ever seen one. W being Wukong's command, or win, I don't know.
Mario maybe in some trouble here. He does get dusted up. He's got Scythe, but he gets off the overgrowth. The Scythe does not secure the kill. Now his cleanup crew is here. They get a double on the Willow. It's a 1 for 3, losing only their support tree. Now they use the Moonlight Shadow, going in on the PL.
Ooh, nice dodge.
Does force him to sidestep. Now this tier 2 tower will be the prize they look to claim. Another nice setup for the Truffles.
All right, MJW's item build is very interesting.
What's he got here? Let's take a look at the Pugna. It's a Hood of Defiance, dude. In the Lincolns, it's all survivability. He just wants to live.
I mean, you know, definitely good against Tiny. You're not going to get bursted.
Yeah, definitely good against Necro. Definitely good against Earthshaker. Not bad against the Ogre. I think this is the kind of game where they know Pugna's already going to do a lot of damage. He just needs to fucking live.
Yeah, and they have other heroes to deal. Like a lot of the time, you'd be like, you need the Aether Lens because you want to kill the Necrophos, right? That's why you pick the Pugnas to counter the Necro. But what is Necro going to do this game? Like, he just got completely dumpstered early, so it's like you don't even need to worry about killing the Necrophos because he's not an issue.
Pretty ambitious item selections here for the Necro. Blink Dagger, Radiance.
Oh, he's got big balls. Honestly, I've seen people go for Midas's on this hero when you're super far behind, and it actually seems pretty good. Like, he eventually gets items.
Yep.
Because you're just a Scythe at this point. Like, really, he's just a Scythe.
Yeah, Midas feels like it's in kind of a weird spot, but I've definitely seen that build as well. Some burst damage onto the Pugna. After all that talk, he will get brought down, but some counter damage. Monkey King, will he be able to survive through this? They go 1 for 1 for now, but these PL illusions are doing a lot of work. Venom with the Wukong's command will survive. Arrow connects on the Phantom Lancer, and they will get punished for that heavy dive on the Pugna. What started as a clean kill becomes a 1 for 2 and maybe even a 1 for 3. They found the LSD eye drops. They're ready to head off into oblivion. but they need to find this kill first.
Oh, Ryu picks up the monkey.
Did get brought down by the Tiny. The TP home will not be so successful this go around, though. Blast off we shall. 2 for 3 in the bottom lane.
That definitely favors. I mean, I don't know. Your PL dying is not good, but Ryu is trying his hardest to salvage this game from the brink of oblivion, I should say.
Brink of oblivion.
It's an item in the game, man. The blink dagger. Everybody's getting this item, and it's confusing. Anyway,
isn't Pugna's name Oblivion?
Is that his name?
Well, like in Dota 1, wasn't he like what was it? Pugna the Oblivion? It was something Oblivion, right? Wasn't there some? Why is his name Pugna? What was his?
I don't know.
Don't you know anything about Dota 1?
Obsidian?
Lord?
Dude, I was like 12 when Dota 1 was out. Are you kidding?
No, not Obsidian. That's OD. Man.
Pugna the Obsidian.
No,
he's the Obsidian Destroyer.
That couldn't be more wrong.
Destroys Obsidian. Anyway, this PL completely fallen off. His Necro has higher net worth than he has.
Moonlight Shadow. They're going to get carried away. Nope. Okay, they're just going to kill a Warden. Instead, they get a kill on Ryu Borez mid. Now they're going to jump in onto the Necro foes. Big time damage. It's a Monkey King crit for the kill. Meanwhile, up top, PL. The big boy, he's on the run. This time he's going to make it back. We're going to bring it on back.
You know,
this Oblivion thing.
I know something about BTY. And this is some pub stuff. And I'm probably looking into this too much, but he's a bit of a rager.
No,
just a little bit of a rager.
I don't believe that for
a
second.
He is very, very skilled, and I genuinely mean that. He's very skilled, but he is very tiltable. And it kind of seems like this might be one of those real tilt games. Even if he's not, raging at his team, maybe he's just, you become apathetic at the game, something like that. And it results in your PL being less net worth than a Necro that was basically feeding.
Guys, you're going to have to excuse me for a second. Hopefully nothing happens, but this is a new common bug. You can't turn off Fog of War because that hotkey is unbound. They still haven't fixed it.
Come on, Valve. They just took Roche.
Pugna the Oblivion. That was his name.
You're right.
He was Pugna the Oblivion. I knew it.
Damn, dude.
I get a layup for that. Ryu Borez, they're going to slam dunk his body into the grave, and meanwhile in the mid, they're looking to set up on the PL. Here we go. LSDI drops, walks into it again. Easy arrows all day for Ush. Chris Usher, ladies and gentlemen, he's getting the momentum. They've got the roots, and this PL, he is in big trouble. I don't think Ush actually got stunned by that Echo, so even though it looked like kind of a nice setup, they were spread just enough that Old White could not really punish it all that much. Now Necrofoe stunned, bursted, and otherwise obliterated. Pugna the Oblivion has done it once again.
Oh, God. This is
GG, dude.
This is looking real over. This is looking real over. This is the definition of a snowball.
They are the Hamburglar, and the other side is what's that purple dude? Rompus?
I don't know, dude. Doesn't the Hamburglar try to steal McNuggets or something?
Oh yeah, I'm confusing the. No, they're both McDonald's characters. Yeah, I think his name's Rompus.
The purple guy?
Yeah, the purple guy. LSDI drops. He's gonna try to defend this tower. He'll use his big ogre-like body to get in the way. But unfortunately, it might not be enough. His PL is going to flop over as well. Now the Bedlam comes. The AoE damage is overwhelming.
Oh, my God. The single target on rear borers is huge.
Now
he walks
away. Will try to terrorize. He's getting healed up by MJW. This is a very bold play. Sharing is caring, and he will stay alive.
He doesn't get him because of the hood.
Damage is not enough. Wow, that's a real heartbreaker.
Oh, God. He just wanted to kill the counter one time before they lost the game, and MJW is not letting it happen.
Man,
there's a word for that.
The long-lost member of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers here. That one was brutal. Tier 3 goes down. Melee Barracks also destroyed. They're going to hang in there. They're going to give it the good old college try. Make NA Dota proud, but 33-11, 15K net worth deficit. Jenkins, dare I say, this
let me tell you.
This mountain.
I've seen worse deficits.
Well, sure.
Look at United States, okay?
Oh, my. Oh.
It's getting better.
Monkey King.
Oh. He's just
They're going to root him again. Man, it looks like they've got great heroes against PL. Once PL falls behind, he's just a useless piece of shit.
He really is. He really is a useless piece of shit. I still hold that if he had a good game on PL, this
Sure.
he looks impossible to kill because it's like You just need to survive the initial disables, and you're Gucci.
Well,
Venom.
let's take a look at this high ground siege, dude. Venom is up there. He's got the Aegis of the Immortal. They're going to go ahead and use it, but MJW, well, he's going to go down as well. This is not ideal. Buyback now from MJW. They want to end this one. He does not have Boots of Travel. He heads back to the shrine. He's going to dog it the old-fashioned way.
That was definitely questionable positioning from MJW. It's like
not ideal.
Standing right on the high ground. Oh, come on, man. It's you know why it is? It's because they're just at a 20K gold lead, so they're like, all right, just let us in. Come on, guys.
Come on now.
And he gets one hit by the. He has a mech hood. He's getting one hit by the tiny still.
It's that moment where you kind of are saying to yourself, guys, if we play perfect and they play perfect from this point forward, we've won 100%. So since we've already deduced that, let's just end it even more quickly. And that's sort of what we just saw in that last team fight, which is the essence of pretty much every Dota pub game that has ever existed, I think, is that, well, we've already won, so now we can afford to play sloppy, which leads to those moments where teams win games.
Right. This goes back to the structured team environment thing. Like, if this team sticks around for another couple of weeks, they won't make that same play.
Another couple of weeks.
Well, dude, I'm just saying.
Sick.
No, I'm saying because you learn quickly. I wasn't saying they're going to disband. Come on, man. What the hell, man? I'm supporting NA Dota.
Oh, I see. Well, Mario, he's trying to support it, too, with those big oaky branches. Nice arrow. Does kind of split the nines. Gets off the overgrowth. But now Ryu Boris is here. This time, the Reaper's Scythe will be successful. But Big Bad Monkey King has joined the fray, and it looks like it's Radiant's fight to take. It's starting to spread about. PL in deep pursuit, but they will not catch the Mirana. And meanwhile, their backline is just getting picked apart. The Ogre has now bought back. Shadow Realm will be utilized, and PL, he's on the run. Venom on the high ground. He uses the Primal Spring. It's going to be off the mark, but now Ogre, he's back here. They've killed Old White. Somehow he went down in the fray. I think MJW bursted him. Now they want this PL. He'll make it to the high ground. He's ready to TP home, and he makes it.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I guess he didn't see him.
Well, it was still pretty darn convincing, though. It was a 4-for-1 with the buyback on the Ogre. So a lot of economic damage, and PL
my God.
just gets mitterated upon for the layman's out there. He just got pooped on.
That's a synonym for poo? Oh.
Actually, I think pee.
Oh, okay.
You could, like the Big Lebowski. Am I responsible every time a rug is mitterated upon in this fair city?
Oh, yeah. That's such a good movie.
LSD eyebrows. Eye drops. He gets brought down. LSD eyebrows, baby.
I mean, at this point, he can't afford the eye drops, so may as well go for the eyebrows. Okay, well, this is looking more and more desolate.
Yes, desolate. Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, my favorite. 40-13. I don't know much, but I know those numbers are pretty far apart.
Here's a question: Can Dyer get 7 more kills?
40-20. That's
exactly, dude.
Wow, that's almost dank.
All right, dude.
I'm gonna go to the casino with you, man. You're gonna have like a 4-card straight. Be like, guys, I almost had the straight. I should get at least like a third of the payout, you know?
I've actually made that argument before.
Yeah,
for
I'm sure that.
I've definitely made that argument.
That's like the most Canadian argument I've ever heard.
Oh, come on.
Come on, man.
Come
I was
on.
pretty close there. I had 2-3. That's basically 2-2, huh?
I'm not gonna do the Canadian accent. No, I'm not gonna besmirch my country.
You're
my
doing it right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not on purpose.
ZR, he is in deep. He's in the thick of it. He's written a check that his ass will not be able to cash.
This is looking more and more like a pub as this game just disintegrates into madness.
Speaking of Canada, the big day is coming up soon.
Canada Day?
Canada's new Canada Day. You know what I'm talking about.
Columbus Day?
I don't think you guys have a Columbus Day. It's slightly greener. Uh-oh. PL?
Oh, that big day.
He's going to get killed again. Yeah, dude, I think October 19th.
Dank Day.
Dank Day. Old White.
Oh, they finally
name
call
a strain after him. I'll take 2 ounces of the Old White, please. Ryu Boris would also be a pretty sick name for a strain. I'll get an 8th of Ryu Boris.
Come on.
It's unique and identifiable.
It's unique. It's unique. Old White would be good, though.
Old White?
I'd buy that, dude.
I'll have an ounce of the Old White.
Kind of sounds like an IPA too.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
It sort of does.
Can I get a pint of the Rio Boros, please?
Actually, all right, that's fair. That's even more fitting. Oh man.
God.
I'm a gram of the Jenkins. The Jenkins OG, dude.
I'll give you. I'm
Well,
not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there.
Well, that was a pretty brutal game. I'm not gonna lie. It started out kind of even, and then Pretty Boy Swag started getting ripped apart at the seams. You know, I want to talk MVP for a moment. I have maybe an unpopular choice, but I think it was the tree. I think that tree ant really stood out to me as very well played, set up a lot of stuff for his team, put the pressure on. I think he was the catalyst that started the whole disaster that was Pretty Boy Swag's mid-game.
I think so too. I was when you were saying that, I was actually looking at the tree. I was like, he's gonna say tree because the tree actually like low key did extremely well. That's the thing with these games is you have you have all the cores and they look so flashy. I mean, Ush obviously in like a pure 1v1, completely flashy. He's the MVP if it's not the tree. But yeah, the tree set up for like all of the PL kills, set up for the winning the lane that should have been the losing lane. Yeah, I would definitely agree that Mario really pulled his weight in that game. And I think if Mario is standing in against you, you honestly probably want to first phase ban the Treant just because he's that good with it. I legitimately think that if I was playing on my previous team that I just quit, we probably would ban the Treant against
He definitely plays the hero in a way that makes me it's tangential to what Techies reminds me of. It forces you to play a different style. You have to react around his tree. You know, he sets the tempo of the lanes, and that's difficult. Those are the kind of heroes that I would agree are kind of worthy.
Yeah. It's hard to play tree like that too. Is the thing. Like a lot of the time, you have trees that they just aren't scouting the right locations. They aren't setting up because you have to already be there. It's like the Techies mines, like you said. You have to preemptively like understand what the enemy team is going to do before they do it, which is very very hard to do, and then be in position with the mechanics of your hero to counter them. And yeah, I mean he has enough tree games that he can do that. So I mean against another team, you probably don't first phase ban a tree, but against this team for sure.
Yeah.
He's a stand-in too. He's standing in for Grant, right? So
I think so.
But but this is like a group of players where they would be very comfortable playing with either Grant or Mario. They're both within the same group of pals.
They're they're NA Dota boys.
Yeah, they are.
They've got that.